today we will be going over Etch-a-Sketh reflections and figuring out whether or not they are isometric. So first off, we will start off with our plane coordinate graph here. Then we will plot our 2 points of 0, 0 and 0, 5. And the distance between these 2 points is 5. Next, you want to draw in our line of y equals 1/2 times x. After that, we will want to draw in our perpendicular line, which is this blue line here, and it is the reciprocal of our original green line. So now our blue line is y equals -2x plus 5. And what we want to do now is to find the point where the two lines intersect, and we'll label that point Q. And in order to find our coordinate points here, we have to find x and y. Oops, let me fix that. Sorry about that. So in order to do that, we are going to take 1/2 x here equals -2x plus 5. And I want to get the x all by itself, so I'm going to multiply 2 on both sides of this equation here. And by doing so, that get rid of the 1/2 here. So now that leaves me with x equals -4x plus 10. And so I want to move this -4x on this side as well, so I'm going to add 4x here and add 4x on this side, which cancels this out. And so now I'm left with 5x equals 10. And since I want to keep getting rid of these numbers so that I can get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 5, and now that leaves me with x equals 2. And so next, all I really want to do to find y is just plug it into our original equation of y equals 1/2 times x. So I'm just going to go ahead and do y equals 1/2 times 2. And 1/2 times 2 is 1, meaning that our y is 1. And our points for Q is 2, 1. So now we want to find a new point of P prime, which is 0, 5 reflected across our original green line here. And in order to do this, we have to find the distance between 0, 5 and Q, and the distance from Q to P. So in order to find this distance, all I really have to do is just do some simple math and add them together. And so I know that 0 plus 2 is 2, and that is how I get the 2, 1 here. And so how I'm going to show that is I'm just going to go over 2. So that gives me a 2 here. And then in order to get 1, I'm going to go down 4. So I'm just going to take 5 minus 4, which is how I get 1. So I'm going to go down 4 here, and this is 4. And so now I'm going to add these two together, and I know that the total distance from 0, 5 to Q is 6. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing from Q to P. So I'm going to go over 2 and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So same thing. This is 2 and this is 4, meaning that the distance from Q to P is also 6. And so that will also be how I will find my coordinate points for P prime. And so I'm just going to add these two together. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And then I'm going to take 1 minus 4, which leaves me with -3. And that is how I find 4, -3 for my P prime point. And so now we have rotated 1 point down here, which is 0, 5. I mean, not reflected. We have reflected 0, 5 to P prime. And so we have to also keep in mind that we're not reflecting just 1 point, but 2 points. And we have completed reflecting 0, 5 to P prime. And so now we have to reflect 0, 0. But because it's 0, 0, it stays in one spot. So now all I really have left to do is to find the distance from 0, 0 to P prime. And so in order to do that, I am going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason for that is because I'm just basically following this, because going down is the y and going across is the x. So here's my -3. So here's my 3 again, and here's my 4. So adding these two together, I'll find out that my distance from 0, 0 to p prime is 7. And because this here is 7, our distance here is 7, and our distances between these 2 points are 6. And it shows that they are not the same. So because the distances are not the same, this proves that reflections are not always isometric.